boys and girls? Welcome back, Redmissed in the house once again. How you doing? I hope everyone's doing great. I'm doing great, and we, my friends, are playing some more WWE Supercard. Now, I want to go ahead and I want to first off tongue-tied. Want to first off go ahead and say about the new cards that are coming in, guys. I am so happy about these new cards that they're slowly releasing. Obviously, if you guys have been watching out on Twitter, we did see the Macho Man Randy Savage is also going to be in the tiers, which is going to be absolutely incredible. But the one big thing that I'm really curious about is, if you take a look on Twitter, guys, they have gone ahead and uploaded or posted the brand new Ring Domination card. Now, this weekend is going to be the Ring Domination, and it's going to be for the cover man of WWE Raw or SmackDown Raw, whatever it is called now in the games. And that, my friends, means that the Seth Rollins is the cover of the Xbox and the PS4 console game, and they have also put that it obviously is the 2K18 cover on the Supercard. But if you take a look at the stats, guys, those stats look really high to me. So I don't know, but I think this could be one of the very last events when it comes to the WrestleMania tier, because of the fact that, one, they're running out of WrestleMania 33 cards to put as the undercard when it comes to these events, and two, unless they're going to continue to keep making brand new cards when it's coming into the events, there's not really many that they can actually go ahead and put into the game right now. So I'm not really too sure. Like, obviously they could possibly go and put people that have, like, obviously come back. So as you would have seen on Raw, then we did have a certain awesome diva or woman superstar come back into the WWE after obviously being let go because of certain reasons, but now she's back, and that is the amazing kick-ass badass Emma herself. So that is really cool. So they could go ahead and do possibly an event card for her because of obviously her coming back into the WWE now. That gives us someone else that they could possibly do. There is a few other people with possibly bringing in the Hall of Fame cards. That means that they've obviously put in the rights, or bought the rights, in order to use the images of those particular superstars. So we could see people like Beth or Blaze. We could potentially see like a Trish Stratus event. We could see the superstars, so we could also see, like, who knows, like Jimmy the Superfly Snuka, for example, if they've gone and bought his rights. We can see a Macho Man Randy Savage event possibly, because of the fact that they've bought the rights to his image with inside the game. Now, normally, when it comes into a game, it's not just one image that you will buy. So normally, it's kind of like the same as if, for example, if you've been watching the news and stuff, all this jabber about WWE possibly overtake or buying out TNA. Now, the main reason WWE are interested in TNA is not so much for the talent and the superstars on the roster, even though some of the roster is absolutely incredible talent. As you know, people like Bobby Roode have come over into now TNA, from TNA into TNX. We've got Austin Aries, Samoa Joe. People that were in WWE have gone over to TNA, so if you don't follow it, then obviously at the moment over in TNA, you've got the likes of Goldust, not Goldust, sorry, you've got Cody Rhodes over there, so Stardust, but he's not obviously called Stardust because that's owned by WWE. Obviously, Alberto Del Rio went over there. Bobby Lashley's been over there for ages. Matt and Jeff Hardy were over there for quite a while. Well, has been there for years. Jeff went over for I think it was 2 years, 3 years. And now obviously they're back into the WWE. They had the Dudley Boys, but they came back to the WWE. All of this crazy stuff. And the benefit that WWE would have from buying out TNA would be the video library. So every one of their main superstars, so for example, all of the fights from Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Austin Aries, Bobby Roode would all go on the WWE network. And along with that, they would get all of the rights to everything that every one of them superstars have ever done inside TNA. So all of the old school pictures that AJ Styles had when he was in TNA, all of the old school pictures of Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, everything like that would all go into the WWE library. On top of that, if they were to obviously buy out TNA, you would have things like Beer Money come back, because I can guarantee you one of the best tag teams that have ever been in wrestling has been Beer Money. Now, if you don't know who Beer Money is, that is the tag team between Bobby Roode and James Storm. Now, they are a magnificent tag team together, and they are so entertaining. If you haven't seen them, look it up on YouTube, anything like that, and just check out some of their matches, because they are so much fun. And I can guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, if this ever happens, that WWE does buy out TNA, I can guarantee that James Storm will come to WWE, because of that tag team will be too appealing to WWE to let go of. Especially when it happens that obviously Bobby Roode does come up into WWE. It's just going to give so much more versatility to Bobby Roode's character that it would be such an amazing thing to happen. Obviously, you would get some of the other superstars that have left and gone over to TNA and such, so on. But one of the knockouts in TNA I would love to see come to WWE would be Angelina Love, because I seriously think that on the SmackDown roster, not so much the Raw roster, but I think the SmackDown roster with the divas that are on SmackDown, I think that Angelina Love would fit in absolutely perfectly. It would be absolutely crazy, because she's a lot like Nikki Bella, so she would definitely sort of take that sort of place of a very powerful female. So you would have people like obviously Charlotte, Natalia, Becky Lynch, and Angelina Love, and it would just be such a good roster that could potentially come into WWE, along with quite a few other people. Like obviously, if you go back in time, Ethan Carter III. Now, when he was in TNA and stuff, he weren't a very good name, and people didn't really like him. But when he went over to TNA, he become really, really big. So people that didn't make it in WWE that have gone over to TNA and have made it are gonna bring such a huge following with them when they come in that merchandise is gonna go crazy. So these big names like Ethan Carter III, they're not gonna go away. They're just gonna become main roster people, which would be really good, because it would really open up quite a lot of versatility and a lot of new faces inside the WWE. And on top of that, this could potentially bring a ton of really good new fresh faces for WWE Supercard. Now, whether this, obviously, who knows when this could happen. It could happen next week, it could happen in 10 years time, who knows, because obviously TNA has been in trouble for many years now. I think we're kind of going back since basically when Jeff Hardy joined them. So going back, like, what was that, like 2006, 2007? They kind of brought in these big hitting superstars like sort of Jeff Hardy, the Dudley Boys, Sting, Bobby Lashley. They had Scott Steiner, stuff like this, all to try and bring in the crowds. And it's worked to an extent, but it was more of I guess, a short-term successful business. And now they're kind of falling on bad times again. So we could potentially see this stuff. And if that is the case, they would have some really good matches with AJ Styles. If you go on YouTube and you check out back in the day of AJ Styles, if you don't watch TNA, go and watch the run that Sting and AJ Styles done. I believe it was 2 years before AJ Styles left TNA to go over to Japan. So we're talking about 6 years ago when this run happened. But basically, it was the turn between sort of Sting being the champion, or the heavyweight champion in TNA, and he was trying to make AJ Styles the champion he should be. And AJ basically turned from being a babyface to being a heel and screwed over Sting. And then there was a huge feud between Sting and AJ Styles over the course of like a year. And it is probably one of the best storylines I have seen in WWE or TNA, any wrestling federation. It is by far one of the most interesting storylines you can see. And some of the matches are incredible, because this was back in the day when AJ Styles was a proper high flyer. Like, he was just incredible. Some of the stuff that you see him do, and even to the point of Austin Aries, watching Austin Aries in the X Division matches, some of the stuff that these guys done in TNA was incredible. And I really wish that WWE would let them do this kind of stuff over in WWE, because it would 100% bring WWE back to kind of what it was back in the 90s, when you had like Edge and Christian against Matt and Jeff, and Matt and Jeff were high flying all over the place. Edge and Christian were charging all over the place, and then you had a couple of like matches with the Dudley Boys that were just like, well, we're bigger guys, we're just going to smash you through a table. But everyone had these crazy advantages, and that is what I would love to see in the WWE again. But anyway, that being said, guys, I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. Look at these scores as well, guys. I've got to give it off, my hats off to Luck. He has gone absolute beast mode in this Team RTG, Ring Domination, knocking out 117 shards. Beast, absolute beast. Everyone else has been working. I've been working like crazy today, so I haven't really been able to play too much, but we are going to get this second card. We might as well just play this one as well, guys. Why the heck not? So it would be really, really cool to see these kind of things happen. But tell me in the comments down below, guys, if you happen to watch TNA, what superstars would you love to see come over to WWE? Would you like to see Bobby Lashley come back to WWE? How cool, just putting this out there, but how cool would it be if WWE kept Goldberg on a contract, signed Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, and all three of them had a fight? How that would be insane, because you would have like Goldberg, like a spear god, Lashley, a spear god, and Brock Lesnar, Suplex City, need I say more? So we would have like three huge powerhouses in one fight. That could be pretty insane. You could even, maybe not to the same extent, But you could maybe even go ahead and throw someone like Roman Reigns into the mix, just so that there is kind of like another sort of, I guess you could say, kind of big hitter. Because obviously he's got like quite a bit of a badass spear as well, but not really that great. So maybe not him as such, but who knows? You know, like at the moment, Scott Steiner is still signed with TNA, so maybe you could even put Scott Steiner in that match, even though he's like 100 years old. Who knows? I really don't know. I was even watching on YouTube the other day about Ken Shamrock. He was talking about how he would love to do like a comeback into the WWE. How cool would that be to see Ken Shamrock, one of the badasses from the early 90s, coming back into TNA? Into WWE. That could be pretty crazy. But who knows? Tell me in the comments down below, who would you love to see come back into WWE if WWE did happen to sign or buy TNA? Who would you love them to actually keep and put on the main rosters? Or who knows? I don't know. Tell me in the comments down below. And on top of all of that, guys, tell me what you think about this Seth Rollins new event card, this RTG card that is coming into the weekend. Do you think this card is overpowered? I don't know, but personally, I think the card looks kind of overpowered. So if that is the case, this could be the very last event in the WrestleMania tier. But I don't know, because if you look at the stats, compared to the Macho Man Randy Savage stats, the Seth Rollins card looks as if he can 3-stat the Macho Man Randy Savage. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that because I didn't double check the stats, but from a very quick glance, it genuinely looked as if the power, speed, and charisma was higher on the Seth Rollins card than it was on the Hall of Fame thingy card. But I don't know, Macho Man Randy Savage, but I don't know, I didn't double check it. I will double check it, but for now, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for the video. I know it's been a really long video yesterday and today, but I've just been enjoying. I kind of got a little bit carried away talking about the TNA aspect as well, because I'm just super excited about that. I would love to see WWE buy TNA and kind of merge the whole thing together. That would be absolutely incredible. But tell me your thoughts on it, guys. Also, as always, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you've enjoyed the video, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace on the streets. But one more time, look at those shards, guys. Hats off to you, my friend. Peace on the streets.